Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Brothas-in-law. If you're new to this channel, on this channel, we talk about police-involved incidents that occur around the country, and we give our analysis on how these incidents unfold. And we talk about the actions of the police officers, and we look to see if these officers acted as what a reasonable officer should do, or are they how they should act in these types of call for services that involve officer involved shootings. But at the same time, we also look at the actions of the citizens to see if they follow our acronym of CALM, which we came up with, which stands for comply, answer questions, listen, and move on. Would that citizens situation turned out differently? Now, look, y'all, we know there's some people who just will never ever be on the side of law enforcement, and that's totally fine. We get that. We're not here um to be one way or another. We're just telling you how two black former police officers would have handled this situation. And if you watch this long enough, excuse me, you would see that Mike and I sometimes don't agree on certain things. And that's the whole point. You know what I mean? We're just giving you two reasonable officers, former reasonable officers, our analysis on how these situations unfold, to kind of give you a better understanding of what took place, so you can share with your family and friends, or when you're talking about these incidents that happen with your co-workers and things at work, you kind of just shine a little light on the subject, so everybody kind of keeps a level head and nobody goes out here and starts burning down their own towns. All right. With that being said, my name is Corey, and I'm a former Virginia State Trooper with 7 years of service, and I'm a former Navy Chief Petty Officer, 21 years of service. And my co-host, Mr. Mike Bradley.
Hey, what's good? What's good? I'm Mike Bradley. I'm retired police officer, 26 years in Northern California. Also a 6-year Army veteran. Good to be back. But like you were saying, Corey, it's nice to at least give some kind of point of view from somebody who's done that job before and understands the ins and outs of what you can and can't do, and what works and what doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Right. A lot of officers are different. They respond to things differently. They might communicate in different ways. You know what I'm saying? We understand that. You know what I'm saying? And our take is just on what we personally would do in that call. Right. We've gotten some comments. Also, I want to address real quick because we've had more than one comment now about some people will look at the channel and they'll look at our videos, and one of the complaints is we talk too much, or it's too much commentary. But we want to remind folks that, number one, you can watch the video anywhere. If you want to watch the video uninterrupted, you can do that anywhere. We even put a link to the video down in our thing, so that if you did want to just watch it straight through, you're more than welcome to do that. The reason sometimes we're conscious of the commentary, so we are conscious of talking too much. You know what I'm saying? But there are oftentimes in these videos, we come to a point in the video where we want to explain why that happened the way it happened. You know what I'm saying? Or whether we would have done that way. So sometimes it gets a little difficult to just let the video play out all together without making any commentary. That's the whole point of this show, is for us to commentate on the video and tell you whether that's reasonable or not. You know what I'm saying? Without that commentary, well, you can watch that video anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, right. But we do hear that comment on some of those videos. I know we had one video that we done a long time ago, Corey, that's still getting comments to this day.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching. We can say that.
Yeah. With that being said, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button for us, and keep up with us and be a part of the conversation. All right, so as usual, before we get into it, let me go ahead. Well, if I can find it again, throw up our merch shop. If you be so kind to head over to check out our merch shop at Brothas-in-law .myspreadshop.com and grab yourself another Brothas-in-law t-shirt to help support the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. And so tonight's video, y'all, it's kind of it definitely is comical, and we're gonna do our best to play most of the video without saying anything.
Yeah, it's
But
about
like,
13 minutes long.
yeah, it's about
But
13
it's
minutes.
a good video,
But like Mike said, hey, there's parts where we have to stop and emphasize a certain situation in it. But this one is entitled "From the Barber's Chair to Taser." Entitled "Brother Faces Shocking Consequences." Like, all right, what happened? Go ahead and set it up, bro.
All right, this happened. Let me get to
It was February 23rd, I think it was last year.
Yeah, here we go. We'll let the video speak for itself. Here we go.
On February 23rd, 2023, officers of the Flagler County Sheriff's Office received a call from a suspect who stated that his brother had received a bad haircut from a local barber. The caller said that he and his brother would not leave until the barber fixed his brother's haircut. The man then yelled that he was going to come back with a gun and proceeded to call 911 on himself because he wanted the barber arrested. He claimed that the barber had pulled out a razor blade on him.
Were you in the barbershop? What's going on?
So I went inside, right? Calling the whole time. The dude's calling my brother's name. Can
I sit down with you? Yeah. I'm not gonna sit down, but I just want to talk to you.
I need to look at you. So the whole time I'm inside the store, right?
Yep.
I'm minding my business, but my brother's getting a haircut. So I'm just making sure he's getting his money worth. Understand? So I'm asking the dude in the shop. Take down the tape on my brother cut.
I'm 10 for it. Just one more unit. You can code for the other unit. They can slow down our response.
The man in the shot telling me that he didn't have time to take down the tape.
No, it's good, man.
No, can you call the law enforcement?
No, it's nothing extra, man. It was just a
I gotta tell him.
I got you. Hey, let me figure out.
That's all. You gotta know that the dude came out of the store and put a knife on me for no reason. You gotta know that.
It wasn't nothing serious. I told you to go to the car and you did not listen.
Yep.
You need to listen to me, bro.
Let me tell you something.
Listen to me.
If you push him or hit him, you will go to jail for domestic.
I'm not.
So don't push him. Don't push him.
I'm not. Okay, thank you for the warning.
Yep.
Thank you for the warning.
Yep. Keep your hands to yourself.
I appreciate it.
Let's figure out what's going on.
All right.
So you didn't like the way? Hold up. Time out. You didn't like the way he's cutting his hair?
It's all good, man. Don't even worry about it. It was just a miscommunication.
Hold on. If somebody pulls a knife on you, you know about it.
No,
The
nobody.
dude put a knife for no reason.
Which guy?
Listen. No, go to the car.
Where's the car?
It wasn't no knife. It was just car. It wasn't no knife.
Man, that dude,
Where's the
if you
car?
wanna pull a knife on me,
Hey,
it wasn't.
why you do that? If you wanna pull a
You want me to go to jail,
you
Diddy?
put a knife on me, bro?
Because you getting extra. Why you escalating the situation?
Hey, hold up. What did I just say?
I want to go home.
What did I just say?
If I push him,
I just told you that, right?
I did not
You
push him.
can't be out here arguing and fighting.
I'm not trying to. He's a hardhead. This is my family. We hardheaded sometimes.
I got that, but right now we're
You know,
investigating whatever happened. So until I get under control, nobody's going anywhere.
Ain't nothing happened. DD, get in the car and let's go home.
No, we're not leaving until I'm done investigating.
Ain't nothing happened. Nobody didn't get hurt. Nobody didn't get hurt.
Stop.
Let's go home.
Stop. Talk to me. What happened?
Hey, sir.
Hey, why am I here?
Why you open his car door? He's inside his vehicle.
Hey, relax for a second. Listen to me for a minute. Relax for a second. We're here for a lawful reason, okay? We're going to talk to you. If nothing's going on, then you go home.
Nothing's going on. Talk to them. That's where you need to go.
Spell your first name.
Man,
Spell your first name.
I should have started speaking silent, but you're ready.
All right.
I don't need to give you my name. This
You
got
do.
nothing to do with it.
All right, hey, listen. I'm going to ask you one time, then you're going to end up in handcuffs. What's your name? Okay, step out of the car.
Hold on,
Step out of the car.
Hold on, my break.
Step out of the car.
Why are you reaching here?
Step out of the car.
Hold on, my break. Hold on, my break.
You're going to get tased.
Okay,
Get out of the car.
For what?
Get out of the car.
For what?
You're being asked to identify yourself.
All right, then back up.
You're asked. No. Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
You're not touching me. I'm a grown man.
Step out of the car,
I'm a
dude.
grown ass
Step
man,
out of the
bro.
car.
Move.
Step out of the car.
Move, bro. I'm a grown ass man.
You're gonna get tased.
For what? Tell me the law I'm breaking. Tell me the law I'm breaking.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
Roll over on your stomach.
Put your hands behind your back.
Roll over on your stomach.
I told you I'm not gonna ask you more than once, but
Hang out here. Don't move. Stay with me. Don't move.
What they doing to my brother?
He's not listening. Stop. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. Before you go in handcuffs, stop it and just relax. Let them do what he had to do.
You're not even
He's
looking.
not, I'm talking to you.
You're not even looking. Where's my phone? Hey, get over here. Hey, get over here. Hey, get over here. What the fuck? Fine, man.
step up.
Just not too tight. I don't want to do it. Officer. What's going on? Please talk to me.
But I'll step like clearly.
DD, listen to me. DeAndre.
Hey. Let them finish and we'll talk in just a second.
Calm down.
Let them finish.
Calm down. Just listen. Calm down.
Melton,
Hey,
relax.
I'm just talking to you. I haven't moved. DD.
Let's see what we do.
You're unreadable.
DD.
See before you can start.
What's going on?
Your barber wants you. Go talk to your barber. I'll talk to you in a second.
Close my door, please.
We're not closing your door.
For what? Close my door, please.
You want to step back there?
Is it
You
recording?
want to step back there with them?
Are you recording this?
Yeah, we are.
Ma'am, I'm not doing nothing. Can you record this, please? Can you please close my door?
Where are your keys at in here?
You're unreadable.
Can I reach? Can I see, like, I don't know. All right, can you, hey, bring me over there.
This your ID?
Over there. What is this, bro? Tay, call mom and dad, bro. What the f*** you doing? This is all illegal. This is all illegal. All this is illegal. Illegal, bro. All this shit fucking illegal. And you a black man trying to be seeing this shit going on.
Relax.
Hey, let's load him up in the car.
Illegal, bro.
Search him, load him up in the car.
You can't tell me calm down. This is all illegal, bro.
Give me 1 second. I'll come talk to you. Just stand over there. Stand over there and I'll talk to you. Give me a second. I'm not going to ask you 4 or 5 times to identify themselves. No. Get off that fire. Rescue can cancel. We'll be transporting him out to Ashland.
I'm a grown man.
Give me 1 second. I'll come talk to you.
Put my
You want to put your shoes on?
Yes, and put my wallet in my pocket.
It's not going in your wallet.
Why not?
Go ahead. Put your shoes on.
Why not?
Put your shoes on.
I pay my taxes.
Okay.
I pay my taxes. I should at least know, bro.
Yeah, I see it. We're going to take him out there. We're not going to have my phone. Hey, this is his stuff. His car's locked up. You got his info?
No, I think he did it. That's his brother.
He's 20 years old, by the way.
You might talk to him for a second. Hey, how's it going, man? No, so can you tell me what happened? What's his deal?
Okay, so what happened is that I was cutting the guy in the green jacket.
The guy we took to jail?
No, not that
The
guy.
other one?
The other guy,
Okay.
he's my customer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They're not even from here.
Okay.
So every time he comes into town, he calls me up so I can give him a cut.
Okay.
So I'm giving this guy a cut. This guy's not complaining about his cut. He loved it. You know what I'm saying? Everything's good. As I'm giving this guy a haircut. This guy keeps butting in, you know what I'm saying, trying to say, oh, but why you gotta get it like this? You gotta do it like this, and why, you know what I'm saying? Why don't you get it like this and get it like this? And I'm telling him, I said, dude, man, give me my space, man. You're all in my workspace, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, oh, you're talking greasy, man. You're talking aggressive. I said, I'm not talking aggressive, bro. You're in my workplace, you know what I'm saying? You're in my business. You're coming over here, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to tell me how to cut and trying to let the man, it's his haircut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let him tell me what he wants. So I finished with the haircut. He sits down. He comes outside. And whatever, boom, boom, so I was like, man, what's up with him? He's, oh, that's my brother, man. You know, he's young, he's 20 years old, you know what I'm saying? Just whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just ignore him. I said, all right, whatever, boom. So I keep cutting his hair, I finish his haircut. When I finish his haircut, I show him the mirror, I'm like, do you like it? He's like, yeah, man, I love it, man. I appreciate you, man. You get me right. I got a date tonight and blah, blah, blah. So I left it like that. Boom. So as he's paying me the money, he's like, oh, why don't you cut this? And why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? So he turns, he said, oh, man, you can't cut this. I said, no, that's it. I got my other client was right there.
Yeah.
My other client, as soon as this guy started getting rowdy, my other client said, hey, man, I'll catch you another day. I left. I just lost that client. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my other client, I said, no, man, I got my client waiting for me right there. I said, you need to know what you want as a man. You need to, when you come to a barbershop, you need to know what you want. Tell me what you want before you sit in my chair or while you're sitting in my chair. Don't wait till after the haircut, till after I finish your haircut and try to make me give you another haircut, because that's more time for me. I got my customer right there, and that's an extra charge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna charge you extra. That's 2 haircuts. So he's like, oh, but how much money you give him? Oh, don't give him shit, man. Let's leave.
And that's the brother saying all this?
That's the guy that you took to jail saying that.
Yeah, okay.
So he's the other guy's telling the other guy's saying, man, chill, man. I'm gonna give him $40, man. Just chill, man. You know, man. He looked out. The haircut's $40, and
So the other guy wasn't complaining at all.
At all. The other guy was, you know what I'm saying? He was satisfied with his haircut, and this guy just kept. So I said, you know what, man? I said, get your ass out my shop, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like your attitude, man. Get out your shop, man, because you ain't gonna come over here to put down on me.
Yeah.
So he comes outside, and the other his brother's like pushing him out, like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, get out the shop, man. Let me handle this, man. You get out the shop, and he's like steady, like getting all.
So he's like coming towards you.
Yes, he's coming.
So the brother gets between them to get like to back him up,
right?
Like,
Yeah, to back him up. He's like, oh man, T, don't worry
was
about it.
Was he pushing his brother or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, like backing him up, you know what I'm saying, like backing him up.
Relax.
Yeah, like just relax, you know what I'm saying. So he comes outside and he opens up the door. He said, man, let me talk to you.
Think about that.
I come right here in front of the barbershop. He said, oh, man. He starts calm. He's like, oh, man, listen, man. I know this is your shop, man, and I don't, you know what I'm saying? But, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, all I wanted you to do is clean him up. I said, listen, but that's none of your business, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his. Let him tell me that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not cutting your hair. I'm cutting his hair. Yeah, but that's my brother. I said, man, I don't care who it is. He said, oh, man, you're talking greasy, man. You don't know how to piece you up. So, you're telling me, a piece is what? A gun, right?
Yeah.
In my understanding, you know what I'm saying? So, now you're telling me you're going to shoot me out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now you're kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like offended now, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of like in fear a little bit now. But now I don't know if you got a gun on you, you know what I'm saying? Look,
Did he ever push you guys?
Nothing, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. He didn't push me. He didn't touch me at all. You know what I'm saying? But he started taking off his stuff, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to fight me? Yeah. So I go back inside the barbershop. So I'm going back inside the bar. I tell Willie, come on. You know what I'm saying? My customer, I said, come on, let's go. I'm gonna start cutting your hair. He's like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like let's just do it another time, man. This shit is getting crazy. Yeah. So that's when you guys pull up. When you guys pull up, he's like, oh man, look, the cops are here. I'm gone, man. Bye. So I'm there. No, you guys don't pull up here. He's like, oh, I'm gone. The fucking cops are making calls. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone. Yeah. So he left before you guys pulled up. So I come to shut the door. And when I come to shut the door, he's telling me, oh man, you scared of a 20-year-old? You scared of a 20-year-old? And that's all he says. And the whole time he's trying to tell me, oh, I got the straight razor in my hand. I had the straight razor. I was clutching the straight razor, talking to him the whole entire time, because I'm when he's paying me, I still have the straight razor. I just I have my equipment in my hand. So as we're talking to him the whole time. So when he comes outside, I guess the tip of the straight razor sticking out. He's like, oh, so you're gonna pull a knife on me? It's a straight razor. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of here. So,
did you see anything that happened out here? Because there was a fight out here. We got a bunch of witnesses that saw them actually like punching each other and pushing each other.
Both of the brothers?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You didn't see any of that part?
No.
All right. So you went back inside to address your customer?
Yeah, I went back inside. My customer left, and over there, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed back
Do you
inside.
mind if I get your info just to say I talked to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
The suspect was taken to the hospital and cleared after a few hours. He was then taken to jail, where he earned himself a few nights free of charge. He was also given a free phone call to mommy and daddy. We hope that he learned his lesson. Otherwise, he'll be back in no time.
Okay. That's pretty much it. You know, what you say, Corey?
Put it down.
Yeah, I mean, we
Sorry.
go back to the very beginning. as the cop rolls up. You know, when you get these types of calls from services, Mike, you know, it's just not a matter of of saying no, there's no problem, everything's okay.
Mhm.
No, that's not how policing works. We have to figure out what was going on because somebody called, and we have to figure out what happened. Why did you call? Is there anything to this call? Because now they got witnesses saying there was actual fight going out there. There was the initial call that came from this young man, Didi, stating that you know the guy had a knife. So there's a weapon involved. There's a fight. Police arrive on scene. We have to do an investigation of what happened. All right, and at
Yeah.
this point, nobody can leave the scene, and that's very important that we want our audience to understand when the police arrive on scene, it's just not, oh, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me, so I'm just gonna walk away. Let it be like the process of elimination. Talk to them, they figure out there's nothing, you had nothing to do with, then all right, you're free to leave. And that's where we are with this kid here. I mean, the police rolls up, make contact with him, and he's not even the one. That's the funny thing about it, Mike. He's not even the one getting a haircut.
Right. That part. That part. Well, it was clear that the brother was trying to calm him down, at least trying to tell or um, was trying to influence him to say nothing happened and there's no big deal here. I just want to go home. You need to get in the car. You need to shut up, and we need to get out of here. That,
Right.
but like you said, don't work that way. I mean, let me ask you this, folks, for our viewers out there. Up to the point where they made contact with the guy in the parking lot, the reporting party, the guy who called the police in the first place, up to the point where he said somebody pulled a knife on me, and then they said, no, that's okay, don't worry about it. What do you think the police should do at that point? Do you think they are doing their due diligence and saying, okay, we're gonna let you go then? If ain't nothing happened here, we're gonna let you go. Is that what they should do at that point?
Give us a thumbs up. How many of you would just let the situation go, like Mike said, with a thumbs up? If not, give us a thumbs down that no, you would not let them go. They're not free to go. We're going to handle this. Let us know in the comments down below. It's a good question, Mike.
I
Like,
mean, you figure, why were the police there in the first place? They were
right.
there because it was
Now,
a
let me
report
ask
of
you
a
this.
fight, right? Go ahead.
Let me ask you this, bro. Would it have made a difference if you letting them go based on whether or not a weapon was involved? What if there was no weapon involved? Would you have just let it go?
Well, the way it looks now, for me, if you get called to that scene, you got to at least make contact with both parties involved, both the reporting party, and if the brother is a witness, if anything, and you got to make contact with the barber, right? So you at least need to make contact with both parties involved in this fight before you
Right.
let somebody go. Because if you let the kid go, the 20-year go, without identifying him, okay, and then you go and talk to the barber, and the barber says, no, that kid did this. He hit me, or he punched me, or he pulled a knife on me. Well, now that kid is in the wind. Okay,
Right.
he's gone in the wind, and you ain't got nobody there but the barber. So you
Right.
can't, that's why you can't let them go. Yeah, you got to identify everybody involved. These are the people involved in this investigation.
Right.
Of course, you got to identify yourself. Okay. And
And
that
he
was the
couldn't do
problem.
it right away. He couldn't identify it right away because it was initially was just one officer on scene. So he's got to try to get. He's working on the what's the boy's name? Didi.
Yeah.
He's working on Didi right now, trying to get a story out of him. But I think when the brother comes in, the old brother comes in, excuse me, it kind of deflects from him handling the younger brother. Now his attention is on the older brother because even though he's trying to get Didi under control, he's coming in a little bit elevated. a little high strung, acting like brothers do.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess you could say. Uh, excuse me. And trying to tell Didi just to get the heck out of here before you get in trouble. Basically, is what he's trying to do. And the cops like, no, 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 you're not going anywhere. Uh, at this point, would you have detained anybody, Mike?
Well, I would at least detain the reporting party who called the police, the brother in the parking lot, and the
But wouldn't he
barber.
be
You got to
considered a
talk to them.
victim? Wouldn't
And
he be considered a victim?
well, we don't know. Yeah, he called, but
Mhm,
how many
mhm,
times you get a reporting party, Corey? That's
mhm,
not
mhm.
always the victim. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You got
Correct. Correct.
it's definitely somebody involved, but hey,
Mhm.
the barber might be a victim too. Okay.
Right.
In this case, he was. The guy said, I'm gonna piece you up. Okay. Like you said, what you threatening to shoot the guy or what? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's a threat. Okay.
Right.
In that case, so you got to at least, I would at least detain the people involved in the investigation. Once I determine you were not involved, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. See you later. Don't need to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So I would cut you loose at that point. But you got to understand, folks, if you call the police, whether you are a victim or a suspect, at least if the police detain you at that point because they have to investigate this crime, okay, that was reported to them, you at least need to give them enough information because they still got to write a report whether you want prosecution or not, whether you want to do something. In our department, if a crime occurred, whether you want to do something about it or not, we got to write a report that says you want to do something or you don't want to do something. Okay. Because it's a misdemeanor not committed in our presence, right? So we still got to write a report. To write a report, you got to have everybody information on the report. Everybody that's involved in the altercation will be listed in the report, right? So, I would have detained at least the two people involved and the witness, right?
Mhm. I mean, yeah, I would at least the younger brother until I got extra units out there, then maybe go in and have one of them go talk to the barber, and then
Yeah.
pull the brother off to the side and talk to him. But the younger one, he gets away. He gets away. Now he's running, but he walks off and he gets to the car. And that's where we pick up with the other officer. And I think from a lot of the comments that I have read on
Mhm.
this video here, a
Mhm.
lot of people had a problem with the officer tasing the young man as if the officer was the more aggressive one and not de-escalating the situation. But let me ask you this, you know, when an officer asks you to step out of the vehicle, and Tone, we're gonna address your question here in a second that you asked a few minutes ago. But when an officer asks you to step out of the vehicle, how many times do you think he or she should ask you? Once, 15 times, 20 times? It, what's a fair number
That's
for the officer has to take action? Me, Mike, I had to go. I'm not gonna ask you more than 3 times. I'll give you three for me. I asked you 3 times, and not you coming out that car with force. Uh, and
well, keep in mind, he was one of the main parties that they can't just let him drive
you
off.
can't, right? You
So
can't just
yeah,
let you
we need
drive
to
off,
identify you, and you need to come out of that car and talk to us. That's all. If
right?
if we determine ain't nothing going on here, if you what you tell us and what the barber says ain't nothing going on and no further action needs to be taken, okay, then you can go.
And he was told that, Mike. He
He
was
was
told.
told that. Now keep in mind, folks, every officer they have different levels of patience, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Well,
So
see,
some officers might or some officers may be quicker to react to you saying, no, I ain't getting out this car.
right, right. Well, Jesus loves you. Said he gonna ask you one time, and you're a grown man. So this kid said. So I should only have to ask you one time. How many times you had to ask your kid to do something before you do something to your child?
But
Right.
see, here's the
Hey.
problem, Corey. His thought process was, you can't make me get out this car. I don't
I'm
have
going
to
there.
identify myself to you. That's his whole thought process.
That's his
Instead
whole
of trying to explain to the police why he called them, okay, he wanted to be defiant and say, I ain't identifying myself. I
Well,
ain't getting out of the car.
And then he also says at that point too, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Go talk to them over there.
Right. Well, we at this point, you're at a point where you can't just take his word for it. You know he called the police. Okay.
Right.
So you know he had some involvement in what's going on based on the brother's reactions and communication with him. You know he had something to do with something. So, you know, at least talk to us to find out. But here's the thing, Corey. Here's the thing what some people will say. And I can see this viewpoint. If I'm the officer and I get there and I see you called the police, but now you've changed your mind and you don't want to deal with the situation. Okay, I'm gonna at least try to hurry up and contact the barber before you leave. Before I let you leave, I'm gonna contact the barber. And again, just confirm, I don't need to detain anybody any further. You know, let's see what the barber says, see what he says. And then at that point, if you don't want to do nothing and you don't want to stick around for any further communication, I probably will let you go because I've contacted both parties involved and both parties are basically uncooperative. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to talk to me. They don't want to identify themselves to me. They don't want to tell me what happened. Now, in that situation, as long as I've contacted both parties involved, I'm going to let you go. Matter of fact, that kid in the parking lot, Corey, I might not try to identify him if he is refusing, that is. I might not make a point to force him to identify myself if I've talked to the barber already or if I've already caught both sides of the story. Okay, the barber says this, but the barber says no crime happened. He don't want nothing done or whatever. Now go back to you who don't want to identify yourself and you want to take off at that point. Okay, then it will be in my report that I spoke to the barber. I tried to speak to you, but you didn't want to speak to me. And no crime occurred, so I let you both go.
Yeah, I can see that scenario played out. If you were the initial response officer, and you but see it's either way, everybody's gonna be detained. And you talk to one party first. I have, my shift partner will talk to the other one, and then we'll come together. Hey, he said this. All right, let them both go. There was no weapon involved, no harm, no foul. Yeah, I can see that playing out like that. But at some point, I mean, I still want to know who I'm dealing with. What if he has extra, warrants out there or whatever?
Right,
I still want to identify this guy who I'm talking to. Tone's question was: is there a law stating that a citizen does not have to get out of their car when an officer tells them to? Is this
you
is this
actually
something
have to get out
new,
of the
or
car.
is this social media?
No, Tone. You actually have to get. If it also gives you a order to exit the vehicle, you have to exit the vehicle. Okay.
Gotta get out of the vehicle.
Now, this is in a situation where the officer has a legal right to detain you in the first place, right? Let me make that clear. Okay. But you usually don't know. You might not agree that he has a lawful right to detain you, and he may think he does. Okay. As long as he thinks he does, he can order you out of that car. And when it gets to court, that's when they'll say, well, the officer didn't have a right to detain you in the first place. So that was the illegal stop or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying? But the time to argue that and take action on that is not on the street. It's in the courtroom. So rule of thumb, traffic stops, anything like that, an officer can order you to exit the vehicle. Now, identifying yourself is a different topic, but ordering you out of the vehicle is a law. Now, is that the law in Florida? Yeah, that should be the law across country because it's what's the case law court for Supreme Court for ordering people? It escapes my mind right now.
Pennsylvania versus Mims, I think it is.
Yeah. So look at that case law and read it and that'll explain it to you further. But yeah, in this case, all the guy had to do was, let me talk to you. I called you, so let me talk to you. Okay. Don't try to say, oh, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'll talk to them. I don't have nothing to do with it. You don't have that power. You already started the ball rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Now we
You
got
already started the ball rolling. So at least roll with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. and that's a good point, Mike. I mean, you just can't. To Tone's point, this is all social media. This is why you always hear me say I have a problem with the news, these social media people out here egging people on, just spewing off stuff that they don't have any idea or clue what's going on. If it is a lawful stop, like Mike said, if it's a traffic stop or whatever, I can't just be riding by and just watch you get in your car and then stop. Like, you know what? Let me back up and say, hey, dude, get out of the car. Right. And I don't have a reason. Okay, so what's my reason? I mean, there is absolutely nothing. I can't just, it's different if you're speeding or, if I see you walking to your car, see you drop, a white baggy substance on the ground, and I go pick that up, and it appears to be some type of narcotic. Then I can come get you and get you out of the vehicle to investigate. Hey, what is this stuff that you just dropped out of your pocket? I see. All right, it is a difference. But just know, even if you're unsure if they're right or they're wrong, just go ahead and do it. All right, and then you just start documenting, and then lawyer up and fight your case in court and win your lawsuit that way. Don't make it worse is what we're saying.
Right. That's the whole point. Don't make it worse than it has to be. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel like you don't have to do something, argue that point in court, not on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you think he should have got tased?
Now, I was just getting ready to address that. Now, we also depends on what their department policy is in tasing. Can they tase somebody in that situation? Does their department policy allow for them to tase somebody in that type of scenario? I don't know. You have to look at their department policy. But this is what I mean, Corey. Did it have to go as far as him being tased? What was the reason the officer tased him? Why did he tase him? He tased him. It looks like he tased him because, number one, he refused to identify himself. And number two, the most important actually, is he refused to get out of the car.
Get out of the vehicle, yeah.
So that's why he tased him, because he refused to get out of the car. Okay.
Could there have been other means to getting him out? Yes. He could
there have been more communication to explain to him, look, this is why we need you to get out of the car. This is why we need to talk to you. Or maybe he don't get out of the car. Maybe he gives them what they need sitting in the car.
If he had done that, he would never got tased.
That's what I'm saying. If he would have given him his ID and talk to them, explain to them what was going on while he was sitting in the car, Corey, he might not have gotten tased. In this situation, the officer ordered him to get out of the car, and he didn't get out of the car. But for me, Corey, as long as I can get the information out of you that I need to get, I don't necessarily have a problem with you sitting in the car at that moment under those circumstances. You know what I'm saying? That's me personally. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean I don't have the right to order you out of the car. It just means that I may not press it to that point as long as I'm getting the information that I need. Now, if you being uncooperative, trying to tell me to F off, and you don't want nothing to do with, and I haven't gotten all the information for all of our parties involved, well, that's a different scenario, right?
Yeah. We didn't carry tasers. So if for me, it'd probably been just going straight hands on and getting them out of the car. You know, like I said earlier, there are some officers that they may ask you, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. My number was 3. This guy, obviously, his number was 1. One of
Yeah.
our viewers, Jesus Love You, said his number was 1 time. So, you know, it depends on you, the person, that officer, right? What your level of, I guess you want to call, excuse me, tolerance is, right? Like I said, I want to tase them. My next choice, if I didn't want to go hands on with them because I didn't want to try and get no fight with nobody over just, you know, this so-called routine call for a service of somewhat of a possible fight. Uh, I could have used OC spray while he was in there, but then, you know, um, that would have been your own choice. Or like you said, Mike, just if he wasn't being belligerent or, you know, out of control or anything like that, just sitting in the car, then I might have just let him sit there.
As
And
long as I was getting
yeah,
information I need. Yeah.
yeah, and if he was getting out, if I ask you your name, I'm trying to get information out, and you just keep blowing me off, like I don't want to talk to you. You need to go over there and talk to them, such as what he was doing. Then, yeah, all right. Well, you need to come out and talk to me then. We're gonna go over here, or I'm gonna detain you, or whatever the case may be.
The
Uh,
last thing I want you to do is drive off on me, right? So that might be a reason I
yeah,
get you out of the car. I don't want you to drive off on me. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Tell has 2 questions. My one is
Yeah.
the taser harmful?
Well, if you've been tased, the taser, in layman's terms, in a nutshell, it basically locks your muscles up so you are tense, then you can't move. Okay, that's what a taser does. Okay, in so many words, is it considered a deadly weapon? No, a taser is considered less than lethal. It's about along the lines of a baton. Matter of fact, it might even be lower than baton from what I recall. Um, a taser is not lethal, is not considered a deadly weapon. Although, Tone, when I say that, I mean from a police officer perspective, as far as its use is concerned. Now, if you use a taser on someone, it does incapacitate them. Okay, it can, which could allow someone, if a taser's in the wrong hands, it could allow someone to use deadly force on you if you are incapacitated. That's the thing about a taser. If if a suspect uses a taser on me, it can incapacitate me, so I can't do anything. So that's why you don't want to get a taser in the hands of the wrong person, because then it could be considered deadly force because they can incapacitate you. So in that situation, that that's a different discussion. But generally, in our uh force continuum, a taser is less than lethal. Okay.
He says, "What about suspects?"
uh well, yeah, so if a suspect has a taser and he uses it on me or tries to use it on me, I'm not going to let that happen. Okay, so I might use a deadly force to overcome that, because it will incapacitate you and allow that suspect to use deadly force on you if you can't do nothing.
So
Okay.
my question would be then: Do you think for our viewers, do you think the officer overreacted then, or was he being reasonable?
Well, that's a good one, and that's what I was saying. I don't know if I would have let it get to a point where I'm tasing you, as long as I was getting the information out of you that I'm supposed to get out of you. You know what I'm saying? If I need you to get out of that car and you're not getting out of that car, that's a form of resistance. Okay. So if you're resisting in some departments, it's within their policy for the officers to use tasers. Okay. Me personally, I don't think I would have let it get to that point, Corey. You know what I'm saying?
To
I
be
would have,
tased.
yeah, I would have tried to still talk to him a little bit more to explain to him, look, I need to talk to you and I need to get this information from you.
So
You know what I'm
I agree with Jesus loves you. I don't think he overreacted. I
saying?
think he has his level of I'm not putting up with this mess anymore. Like I know a lot of guys like that. Like one of my shit partners, man, he was like I said 3 times was for me. His was one, and you was coming out the car. I'm asked you one time, sir, ma'am, step out of the vehicle, or you coming out. I see him snatch folks out through the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, dang, would I had done that? No, probably not. That's why I said 3. 3, I think, is a reasonable amount of opportunity to give somebody to comply, right? Comply, answer questions, listen, and move on. CALM, the CALM acronym, right? And I think that's being generous. Like, hey, I'm telling you, asking you 3 times nicely, sir, please step out of the car. Please step out of the car so we can talk about this. I'm asking you one more time to please step out of the vehicle now. Okay, it's game on. So I mean, that was his level right there. I don't think he overreacted. He told you
Yeah,
exactly
I,
what's going to happen, and then he also followed up later on. Was like, I'm not going to ask somebody 5 or 6 times to give me their name.
yeah.
I can't argue with you with that. They're not. I'm not going to. At one point, and he's acting very childish for 20 years old. Right? You this grown man that don't want to get your butt out the vehicle, but then you want somebody to call mommy and daddy for you.
I think whether or not the officer overreacted with the taser is really subjective. You know what I'm saying? It depends on, some people may think so, some people may not think so. But the real question is, did he act within his department policy under those circumstances?
Well,
That's
at the end of the
really
day,
the
that's what
real
you got to look at.
right.
If this young man got hurt, but when he got tased, going down to the ground, hit his head or whatever, obviously there would have been an investigation. And that's one thing you would always have to look at. What are the department policies on these type of things? Like I said, we didn't carry tasers. And as far as my knowledge, I talked to one of my old co-workers earlier this week, or I'm sorry, last week, and they're still not carrying tasers. So I'm not familiar with what other departments' policies are when it comes to tasers, when they can use them and when can't they use them. But that's where you would start, whether or not, hey, are you using it within the guidance of your department?
For us, there were some certain things, certain incidents where we could not use the taser. We couldn't use the taser on someone that was running away from us. Now that was us. I've seen other departments, they can use the taser in that situation. We could not use the taser with someone running away from us. We couldn't use the taser on someone that was like, if you were on top of a roof and by me tasing you will cause you to fall off the roof. Well, obviously we can't use the taser on you right there in that type of situation, because it would be worse if you fell off the roof than being tased, right? Common sense, right? There are some other things. If I recall, I don't think we could use the taser on pregnant females and children under a certain age. Obviously, you gotta forgive me, I can't remember all the specifics, but it wasn't too many. It was basically common sense things. You know what I'm saying? If somebody got a heart You
Pacemaker.
could see a heart pacemaker on there.
Mhm.
I believe that was one of them where we couldn't use the taser on that. So Tone, I mean, a taser, it generally it has an effect on people. It does a certain thing, but depending on that person's health condition or whatever their condition is with the physically, it could have a different effect on you, you know. So it's not designed to kill you, okay? That's why they call it less lethal force. It's not designed to use that kind of force where it could take your life,
Right.
okay? But it is a tool that, in my opinion, is a necessary tool. It can be an effective tool in getting the suspect to do what you need them to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just a tool. That's it. It's not a gun. Okay. It's just a tool.
It's just a tool. That's all it is. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. And it's another great conversation. Let us know what you think about this video down in the comments below. Did the officer overreact or did he act as a reasonable officer? If this young man followed the acronym of CALM, which stands for comply, answer questions, listen, move on, would his situation had turned out differently? Leave us a comment below what you think and what you got to say. Also, the link to the video is also down in the description below. I put that in there. So if you want to watch it in its entirety, feel free to go ahead and do so. Leave us a comment afterwards what you think about it. That being said, Mike, final words.
Thanks for joining us, Stacy. I see you, Tone. Jesus loves you. Appreciate you guys. GOAT, I see you on here too. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys joining us. And we have
We got
another
some folks over on YouTube watching. Thank you guys for watching us over there on. I'm not YouTube, but Facebook. Sorry.
Facebook. Yeah.
Hit those like buttons over on Facebook for us too, man. We greatly appreciate it. Helps us with the algorithm. Anthony White, thank you for joining us, sir. Jesus love you. Also, don't forget to check out the Brothas-in-law. Oh, let me put that up real quick. And that link is also in the description below. Our website where you go to and purchase a t-shirt, Brothas-in-law t-shirt. Got some hoodies in there. Some zip up hoodies that you can wear with the new logo on the back. So again, thank you all for supporting us and showing us love. That being said, God bless you. Have a great rest of your week, a blessed weekend, and we'll see y'all next week, Lord willing.
Peace out.
Peace, head grease. Oops.